$6,990 of baby oil. Or you can spend like $30 on today's Poor Choices recipe, roasted Brussels sprouts with all sorts of toppings like bacon, fried shallots, and whatnots. It won't help you get your freak on or off, but you won't be the shiny butt of jokes when it's all said and done. $506 in sales tax. 125 gallons. For the record, a standard bathtub holds 50 gallons. If you were to use one bottle a month, it would take you over 83 years to use them all. That's freaky. Starting out, let's toast some pecans or pecans, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to preheat a dry skillet over some medium heat, and then we're going to add in about 1/4 cup of chopped pecans in a single layer, of course, and then we're just going to stir frequently for like 3 to 5 minutes until they're golden brown and fragrant. The pecans toast very quickly, so don't leave them unattended, and stirring them constantly prevents them from burning on one side. Also, a little fun fact, toasting pecans brings out their natural oils, which intensifies their flavor and adding a beautiful crunch to the dish. So once you've got those nice and toasted, remove them from the skillet and set them aside to cool. Next up, let's make some bacon or pecan. We're going to place 4 slices of bacon in a cold skillet, and then we're going to turn the heat to medium and cook until crispy. And then once they're cooked, we're going to transfer the bacon to a paper towel lined plate to drain, and then we're going to hopefully reserve 4 tablespoons of bacon fat for roasting the Brussels sprouts later. And if you're wondering why I said a cold skillet, starting the bacon in a cold skillet helps render the fat slowly, which makes it crispier. And again, don't toss that bacon fat, it is liquid gold. So we're going to chop the bacon up and set it aside. Next up, we're going to fry our shallots. We're going to take like 2 shallots and just thinly slice them up. And then we're going to pour 1/2 cup of oil, I'm using canola here, into a small saucepan or a skillet, and we're just going to heat that over medium heat. And then once the oil is nice and hot, we're going to add our thinly sliced shallots into a single layer, and we're going to fry them for about 3 to 5 minutes, stirring occasionally until golden brown and crispy. And then we'll just remove those with a slotted spoon and drain on a paper towel. Sprinkle it with a little bit of salt while it's still hot, and then you're good to go. And also make sure not to overcrowd that pan while we're frying. Next up, the star of the show, the Brussels sprouts themselves. Now, you can buy Brussels sprouts already halved and cleaned for you, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. I have this conspiracy theory in my head where it's just like the vegetables and things that are like already pre-chopped have less flavor. Is it just me? But I'm not gonna be a snob in this dish, so if you want to buy some already pre-halved and pre-cleaned Brussels sprouts, go for it. I got some whole ones here. I peeled off some of the outside leaves. I made sure I washed them because sometimes dirt can hide in those leaves. And then we just cut them in half. Around this time, we also want to preheat our oven to 425 degrees. And then we're going to toss those Brussels sprouts with that 4 tablespoons of reserved bacon fat, and we're going to season with some salt and pepper. And then we'll arrange the Brussels sprouts cut side down on the baking sheet, and that's going to allow for some optimal browning, which roasting Brussels sprouts is the ideal way to make them because roasting them caramelizes their natural sugars and it brings out a nice sweet and nutty flavor to it. Versus if you boil or steam these, they are just going to stank. Pop these into your oven for 20 to 25 minutes or until the edges are crispy and the sprouts are tender inside. And you can use a knife if you want to just to give them a little poke and see if it goes through. And while that's going on, we're going to make our balsamic dressing. So we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of balsamic glaze, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, and 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. And we're just going to mix that up and set it to the side. It's just that easy. And then I'm going to very thinly chop up some garlic because about 5 minutes before the Brussels sprouts are done, I'm going to sprinkle all these garlic cloves over the Brussels. And then I'm going to continue to let them roast for another 5 minutes until the garlic itself is also crispy and fragrant. And adding the garlic late in the roasting process prevents it, 1, from burning while still allowing it to crisp up, and it just adds another layer of flavor and texture. And then with our time up, it's time to combine everything. We're going to remove the roasted Brussels sprouts from the oven and immediately toss them in that balsamic glaze mixture, coating them nice and evenly. Then we're going to add the chopped bacon, the toasted pecans, and the crispy fried shallots. We're going to transfer that all to a serving platter and sprinkle it with 1/4 cup of crumbled goat cheese, some pomegranate arils, and optional red pepper flakes if you want some heat. And then if you want to take it even further, you can garnish it with some fresh thyme leaves for a final touch of freshness. And there you have it, over the top roasted Brussels sprouts. And the cool thing about this recipe is if there's something that you don't like, say like I'm not a huge fan of goat cheese, but for some reason it actually worked really well in this recipe, you can totally leave it out and the recipe is still amazing. I mean, just roasted Brussels sprouts with a balsamic glaze and some bacon is already a hit. And there you have it, a very easy and quick dish centered around everyone's most hated vegetable, but I guarantee you will hate no more. Hey everybody, this is Poor Choices Kitchen. We have a Patreon link down in the description. $1 a month is all we ask for to pay for recipes in these here inflated times. And we also have YouTube memberships. That's $2.99 because YouTube likes to take its cut. That also helps pay for recipes in these here inflated times. And as far as the Poor Choices go, listen, you know me, I'm a huge fan of dry white wines, and that's definitely what I had going on here. I think I had a Josh brand of Sauvignon Blanc. I should have took a picture of it, but I didn't. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you do decide to make this recipe and you make some changes and substitutions and additions, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what else we could pile on top of this. Like this is almost like loaded Brussels sprouts like you would do fries. So let's just keep going crazy. Let's put some steak on it or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you here next time. Peace.